this is Lori. I'm going to show you how to use the Leah France Country Patches Template 10 with the two different sets of lines in it. And this is with Artisan. So I'm using Artisan 5. Most of what I do you can also do with Artisan 4 or Storybook Creator. There might be a few things that are a little bit different though. With the Artisan, when you open this up, over here on the left hand side you're going to see these two groups at the top, and that one is turned off. So right now we're seeing this, and if I turn it off you can see it's this line. Let me turn it back on, off, and go to this one and turn it on, and you can see that line is different. Now this gives you different options for the look that you want, so you just have to turn the eye on or off. These are all live photo spots, but they're grouped together. You can see the group right here. So to ungroup them, in order to fill them, you're going to right mouse, grouping, ungroup. There are of course other ways to ungroup also, but that's the easiest for me using the mouse. And then each one of these you can see is a live photo spot. If I pull over my photos, I can just drag and drop and manipulate them however I like. I can of course put other things besides just photos into these photo spots and do whatever I like to make those look good. There we go. I'm going to fill this center spot, but see how the others are kind of overlaid on it? So it's really hard. Now I've got it, but it's really hard to get it. So if you have that trouble, you can go over on the left hand side and find it. So now I've got it highlighted, and then right mouse and insert photo into selected frame, and there it is. Now if you were to want to do something with shadows, of course you can add your shadows like you normally would. Grab your pieces, go to format and add your shadows just like that. That's always a choice. But I want to show you how to fill these lines and these little spaces. There are a couple of different ways to do that. I like grouping all of these, actually flattening all of these. It's a little different than a group. When I flatten them, they'll all be one piece, but you could group them and work with them that way. I just find that doing this is much easier. Let me get a paper to fill in that area. And if I right mouse, I can say fill the selected area, and there it is. I can do the same thing with these little triangle shapes, and instead of holding down the shift key to grab everything, with Artisan of course you have to click each one of them. So I'm just going to flatten those as well, and I will just pick another paper to fill in. That looks a little bit funky. Let's change that. Easy enough. There we go. Now filling in these lines, they're grouped right now. If I put a paper in there, those papers would all be different aspect ratios. It would look a little bit funny. I can show you that because it's filling in each paper. So see how it's different on the sides than it is on the top and bottom. So I am going to flatten these. That's one of the reasons why I prefer to flatten when I want everything filled exactly the same. Now I could just fill it now with this paper, but I actually think it'll look better just in a color. When I go up here to the fill and go to solid color, these are all the colors in this image, and I really like this one, or maybe this recent one that I did on another page. I'm going to show you my finished page in just a moment. The kit I'm using is Simple Pleasure Designs and Nifty Pixel Hello Yesterday. It's a beautiful kit with all of these soft muted colors and fun elements. If we flip back over right here, I'm going to pull over this little brad and this beautiful cluster. Now, when I dropped that in, because that's a live photo spot, I dropped it in the wrong place. That's why it replaced this paper, and I don't want it to do that. So I'm going to make sure to just drop it someplace where there's not a live photo spot. I'm going to set that just there, and it's already got shadows on it, so I don't need to add any. I think I will bring this flower over. The flower does not have a shadow on it, so I can add one. I will put this in the center. Now see, the same thing would happen if I tried to drop it in there. So I'm just going to drop it over here and bring it into the center and make sure it's lined up. And I don't want it to be on top of this cluster at all, so I'll move it down below that cluster. Let me just show you the finished page, because I have worked on this, and this is close to my finished page. I am going to put a little bit of journaling in this box, but for this lesson I wanted to show you about those two different lines that you can choose between, and basically how you can fill this in. Have fun with it. Bye-bye.